going. Okay. Give me one hot. Okay. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Do I have an approval of the consent agenda?
I move to approve. Paula?
Second?
And Emily will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. Do we have any written communications?
It's 4:32.
Oh, 4:32, sorry.
Yeah, take
I
care.
know.
No written communications.
And I don't see anybody here, so we don't have anybody present to talk. Okay. So, old business, capital needs.
Air conditioner's done, kind of. Yeah, it feels good in here.
Those are-
They're having some problems with one of the pipes is just it's getting gunked up, like they're draining it and draining it and draining it and draining it. And the plan is, my understanding is that they will, our internal maintenance guys will come once a week and drain it. But the long-term plan is they're going to have to replace that pipe, which should be a 3-day job. If they expect, and it could require a closure.
I was going to say, if it's hot out, they're going to close.
So, aside from that, they planted some trees out there in the
Oh, I missed that.
green space. We have no update on the drains that are broken on the roof. 2 drains are broken and currently plugged. But it's tied to the trash, so until they come back and they're not going to make 2 trips is basically what they told us. Told the city. They're not going to make 1 trip to get rid of the trash and another trip to fix the drains.
Well, great. How long till they fix the drains?
We don't have an answer on that. The issue I think I told you guys about last month with the leak in the break room from the refrigerator water line, that's in the process. The mold has been mitigated, the drywall has been put back up, it's been taped, they're painting it now, and then everything will be moved back into place and everything should be good on that. I think that's it for capital needs. Well,
That's storage or
That's
project.
nice.
You're right, you're right.
yeah, so if we want to move to that one.
Let's move to the furniture project,
Uh,
because I walked in, that was the first thing I said to them.
Reference X should arrive next week, and installation should be done by Friday. And they also promised other fixes are going to be done. Our main contractor, Thomas Interiors, there's like $31,000 left to them, but our architect told them they're not going to get another dime from us until everything's perfect, and they said, okay. The security officer desk, that is not expected to be done next week. The problem is it's the one that was installed is 6-7 inches shorter than the one we paid for, and they had some problems with getting. They plan to just reuse the top, and they can't get that top off without breaking it, so I'm not sure where we stand on that.
How about those things in the drawers that they were supposed to have, like the bins?
Now they have.
Oh, yeah, so that's part of Thomas Interiors, that's the $31,000 left, and they keep doing this, and Tiffany told them we're not, until this is fixed, we're not going to pay you the rest of the money. So, and I don't have a timeline on it. So,
We were referencing, not the reference, I see.
that is, yes, we were talking about the original, that is coming next week.
About the top part of it coming on?
That's for the security officer's desk, yeah.
Oh, yeah, the possibility.
It was like, that'd be a big backward step.
Yeah, no, this, the security, or the reference desk should be installed, Tuesday is coming, installation and electrical work done. Wednesday, we're closed Thursday for Juneteenth, and the data lines will be run on Friday. Okay, so no board meeting next Thursday.
Oh, there isn't?
That's okay.
It's the following Thursday.
Oh, okay.
And I will not be here.
Okay.
That's when I was like thinking to myself, I knew I wasn't going to be here, but I was like, that should be next Thursday, next Tuesday.
And I'm trying to zero in on what we've got left to pay, and I think we may need to move about $5,000 more from, so we got a $10,000 check from the Friends. That was the whole time that was supposed to go. I don't think we'll need to move at all. So that was always supposed to go towards this project. We've got, we're almost finished with the, I think Ed is waiting for one more check for the furniture that we sold. So,
Okay, any other old business? Let's move on to new business. Check registry. Anybody want to start with questions before I move in?
Hold on.
On the second page, at the bottom, schools LLC 4 chair dollies, what's that?
actually, it's your call here, but I did have some old business.
Let's go back to
Other
old
old
business.
business.
Oh, I asked her. Let's go back to old business.
That's my bad. It's-
Sorry.
And that's what I,
Moving on, it is too late.
that's
Oh,
what I,
Speak up.
and that's what I sent you guys today, and I'm sorry, I should have, you can't act on it, but I wanted to make you aware. The City Blue is our printer. I made you guys aware of the issues that were going on with them. This is so initially the agreement, if you go to the last page of this document,
yeah.
initially it was $654.70 per month, but it wasn't covering what we needed. So they did some figuring and they offered us $830.21 per month. What we were paying Watts was $1,087.84 per month. And then you see on the front page there, it's our attorney advising that we take that deal.
I'm normally told to get attorney says like, so you can't put on, we can put on a full board meeting, right?
Correct. I'll bring it, it's just so you guys can discuss it to your heart's content.
It's with the caveat of trying to get them back money from money.
No, that will cover it. That 800 will cover all the meat. So,
Oh, so this is the meat in the middle.
yes, yes.
I'm okay with
I'm
me.
good. Meat in the middle. Still cheaper than before.
Yeah,
Meat in the middle.
we're still,
They made
Yeah.
a mistake. Maybe it's a little bit of
still not that bad.
Any other old business?
That's it.
Okay, let's go back to the check register, because you know how much I love this. 4 chair dollies. What are chair dollies?
Those are I got a picture.
When you know, like, when you,
When you
the stack
stack
of
them?
chairs and then,
Yeah, and
Okay.
it's the little 4-wheel cart that they go on.
Okay. And then, Chang, Yuan Chang, what's that?
Yeah, so that's, got it.
That's part of the
That's
grant?
that's, the Friends are paying for that, but that is, this is something Michelle's doing for me for this meeting now, giving me all the,
I like it.
yeah, so this is, the company's name is Chan, all right, Yunnan Chang LLC, doing business as Having a Ball. Having a Ball is an event planner, and they're an event planner that we're hiring for the big keynote 150th anniversary party.
Okay.
It's paid for by the Friends.
And then the Regions credit card, we have 2 things on there, but we don't really know, I mean, it's like.
Well, I've got it right here.
It's, yeah, perfect, because it's $4,793, and that's just a lot to say. It's nothing.
Yeah, so,
I can't believe you missed over the portable toilets on page 1.
Oh, I meant to say that one.
Come on!
I forgot to,
I saw that too.
damn, I
portable
forgot to
toilets,
not mark that one.
the portable
That was on
toilets
there.
was for the color run.
Okay. So,
Yeah, so the Regions was $47 for book bins, $1,979 for stuff for the grand reopening party, conference cornerstone user experience, $25. And you said, what's it, Sean? How much is it, Sean? Oh, there's 2.
There's
I got 2
2,
invoices,
yeah.
yeah. The other one was Survey Monkey, we use that
Yeah.
internally for surveys. Grandstand glasses, table rental, food prizes,
Yeah.
we get the money back from the foundation for that one, and then hotel for a conference that we sent Alex to, something like that. In St. Louis. Yeah, it was OCLC conference. Got all the invoices here if you want to take a look at them.
Good.
I have one more question, I know we talked about this before. What do we pay HR Source for again?
Yeah, that is, they are,
I like that you asked, because I used to ask that all the time.
I think Kevin can do all this.
it's membership, and they offer many trainings, but they also offer, most importantly, an HR hotline, where we can call and get advice from an HR legal professional at no additional cost to them. So that covers us for a year. Now, we do
You would
sometimes.
think, since we're paying someone else for that.
Well, here's my experience, and and
I
other
mean, this
cities.
is cheap.
Other city libraries have had the same experience with their cities, is that, yes, there is a HR department at the city, we're definitely not a priority. But they also do, it's more than legal advice, they'll also do coaching for us. They'll, we can bring them a sticky situation, and they'll say, here's an approach you may want to try. We utilize the hotline quite a bit.
We
And I
talked
think
to them
it's
at one point.
been pretty effective.
Yeah.
They also provide the framework for our current evaluation process, correct?
Right. Which was not included in the subscription fee. That's an additional cost.
Ah.
That is cheap for you.
Any other questions?
And it's unlimited help on that? I mean,
Yep.
there's, oh, so, yeah. Yeah, the Kylie Klein legal representation, was that?
That's our lawyer.
This one?
I've got it right here.
Oh,
He
I was just kind of wondering,
He
were we in
itemizes it.
trouble?
He itemizes it.
Oh,
This is January and March. Email correspondence regarding the red line to the union contract that we did, the rewrite that we did, another review of the memorandum of understanding with the union. Email correspondence regarding a discrimination complaint. That's the person who we asked to keep his voice down.
yeah.
He said he was hearing impaired, we were discriminating against him. Phone call regarding unresponsive patron hit by a vehicle, refusing medical treatment. I called concerning, like, what do we do here?
Exactly.
Oh, that sounds really
He was
reasonable.
run over by a car, and anyway.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, this was back in March. Yeah, a guy was hit by a car and was laying unconscious in here, and when the paramedics roused him, he refused treatment, and so they left, and I got the guy, and the guy goes back unconscious. And I'm like, okay, can I make him leave? Well, we called the paramedics again, and he wasn't responsive this time, so they took him. Then we had problems with, as email correspondence, we had problems with Sports Illustrated. They were charging us repeatedly for the same subscription, again and again and again. There's a few more things that I can
Oh,
continue.
no. I
It's
was just
all-
wondering if there's like one thing that, maybe
No.
prompted that, but
No,
it's
it's
just
all pretty-
kind of just legal advice and a bunch of little things that keep coming up, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, which, actually, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, we're at $165 an hour, I think.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to.
Second.
Okay, let's start down there with you for,
Aye.
Aye.
Paula, aye.
aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes, aye, we got all ayes, so we'll pass.
That's hard.
Okay.
Second.
Let's move on to the actual and projections.
Okay, so at about 42% of the personnel expenses, so that's good. Library materials are a little over budget right now, but that's something we actually have pretty much total control over. And it's because we did that deposit with Hoopla, right at the beginning of the year. Professional services we're a little high on, but once we put this furniture project to bed, there won't be any more architectural. And that's been kind of our main one this year. Office supplies and maintenance, we're right on track, about 43%. Staff development at 5% right now, so that's very low. We'll probably keep it fairly low this year because of what we'll talk about in a minute. Overall, we're at about 51%. No, that's not overall. It's 45% overall, 46%. So, at the beginning of June, we had $188,254.25 in the operating fund. The operating fund is underwater right now.
Yes.
It is underwater as we speak.
You waiting for the city?
The city's already said they'll front us. That's not a problem at all. They've done it past him. It's not there's no interest or anything. And Anthony Cooling is the budget officer over there. He sent me a document showing me lots of city accounts are underwater this time of year. So no one seemed to think it was a big deal.
Obviously, are you waiting for the city to actually disperse funds?
No. They're basically just going to pay our notes that we presented it. And then in July, when we get our property tax, we'll be able to pay for that. Capital reserve fund right now is about $169,000. And I'm thinking I'll bring it to you next month, but we might need to move a few thousand more over there to finish the furniture project, but not much. Cantoni is at $6,000. Meyer Fund is holding steady at $33,000 for, and Memorials and donations is $13,000 for a total cash position of $409,000. So really, the first thing they do is they take money out of our other funds to cover the shortage in our operating fund. They take money out of our other funds, and we'll pay ourselves back for that. But if those go underwater, then they will take it out of their funds. That makes sense?
Yes.
So projection, it's not pretty. I'm still concerned. I've highlighted property taxes because I'm concerned. My understanding is that the levy, and I'm going to get clarification tomorrow, but that they levied exactly this budget amount. We're not going to collect 100% of what we levy. So I don't know that this number is going to be correct. PPRT is, right now we're predicting a $207,000 shortfall on that. And therein lies the problem. That puts us in a really bad place, and it's too volatile. I mean, that fund is too volatile in many ways. Here's my understanding about, so the state's fiscal year starts July 1. My understanding is it was cut even more. So that number is likely to get even worse. So, here's the real deficit. So we're going to show about a $454,000 deficit, but that $350,000 of that is money we moved to another fund of ours. So the actual deficit is $104,000, which is still not good, but it's not as ugly as the other one. We met with Councilman Horn to talk about the sort of long-term issues, and he was very receptive, I think. and had some suggestions. He seemed to indicate, I don't want to misspeak, Carl, you were there, but he seemed to indicate he would support a modest increase in the property tax line for us. But he also had some other suggestions and things that might be done. Like, he thinks that it's possible that this line right here, pilot, could be increased next year for us.
What is it?
It's payment in lieu of taxes. My understanding is it primarily comes from the water department because they have all that land that's untaxed. So it is payment in lieu of taxes. It's just an allocation from them to other places. And he also thought that some of these allocations that were charged by the city might be a little too high.
I agree with that.
So, I contacted Councilman McDaniel to set up a meeting. He's had surgery and isn't going to be available for several weeks. I contacted Councilwoman Gregory. She's got a family member who's recovering from surgery and isn't going to be available for several weeks.
There's a lot of surgery going on.
So I contacted Councilman Cooper, and he will meet with us a week from today at 2:30. So one or two trustees joining us, I think, would be a good thing. So you guys can.
Well, I'm in town, but I should be back Tuesday night, so I can go if you need somebody. Obviously, my plane doesn't come in.
Don't put that bad juju in there.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
It was next
I want to get
Wednesday?
stuck in it later.
Yeah, Wednesday at 2:30.
2:30. I think I can make it.
If you can find two people, great, otherwise put me down as maybe.
The two, Blake and Mayor.
No, I shouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be a good representative either.
Oh, so Blake can do that?
No, you can't.
Oh, he can't.
Okay, so Wednesday,
Take point.
2:30.
We are stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be in Chicago. I
Ooh.
was, for work the week, so I will not be available. So I'm thinking that Samantha.
I'm gonna put myself down there and if for some reason
There you go.
Yeah, why Samantha was there for the first meeting, if I'm correct. It was Samantha and Paul.
No,
So-
it was,
Oh, no, it
yes, Sophia and Paul.
Yeah.
And we really, and it was, I honestly think we might want to consider asking Councilwoman Cruz back because really it was more of a tour to get to know each other. So, and she even said at the end, she's like, this was fun, we should do it regularly. So,
Heard that.
She seemed very interested in the programs, especially the teen program, so.
Oh, good, I know.
Who's next Wednesday?
Councilman Cooper, that's good.
So yeah, let's afford the opportunity to Samantha as well, I guess, if she is.
Well, ask Samantha, and Samantha says yes, then,
It's not her case,
just
it's
text me or email me or, and if she says no, I will
So,
be here hopefully.
tomorrow, I made arrangements to talk to city manager, deputy city manager, and CFO, what's that? And city CFO to talk about the long term. I asked about, is anybody else welcome? Never got a response to it, so I don't want to surprise them, and I think I'll just go
You
for
got
myself.
it, Blake.
Yeah.
You trust.
I would like a second, but, I'm not going to bring somebody without, the okay. But what I will do is I will take notes of the meeting, and then I will send an email summarizing the meeting and making sure everybody agrees with what was discussed. Not that I expect there's a problem. When I emailed city manager, his response was, "You must have been reading my mind." Because I said we've become overly dependent on PPRT, and he said, "You must have been reading my mind. Let's talk. Let's get Melissa involved and Ruby." And so,
Obviously, it's good to see that this is scheduled, it's something we've talked about for a while. To the point, if you are able to make contact between now and that meeting, coincidentally, I will be off tomorrow.
Okay.
If you would like to do that, so
Okay.
just let me know how that works out. So
So that's where we are along, you know, on the long-term strategy kind of stuff. So,
So the Illinois fund statement, are you talking about that to see if we want to,
I'm just reporting it to you. This is money that goes into our,
we don't need to transfer, is what you're saying?
And what, we transferred this, or we received it, what, roughly 2 months ago? So
Yeah,
this is about what,
we
what a
moved,
month, 2
we
months
moved
out.
35,000. Yeah.
Well, I was just trying to get a barometer of when we did that from now to see, you know, what average, you
How
know,
much we
what
accumulated.
what, see. I know it's relative to the stock market, which obviously is volatile right now, but having any form of an idea of what that looks like on a month-to-month basis is just good enough.
Yeah, so I just want to keep you guys, I'm just gonna keep you guys abreast of this. It's something that I've been remiss in doing for loads of many years. So,
Okay, now we have our beautiful solar clock.
yeah, we did, you know, we talked about it briefly at, this is the Finance and Properties Committee. We talked about it briefly, at the full board meeting. And, so just to review, a very nice lady approached me, elderly woman, and she said, I'd like to talk to you about solar clocks. Her name is Betty Moser, and this is what a solar clock is, and you set it up in such a way that you may not be able to tell here, but you pick whatever month it is, and you stand on that month, and your shadow tells you what time it is. They would like to have them in many public spaces. And I told her that I would take it to you guys. My view is that it looks cool. I don't think anybody really uses our green space, and this property doesn't belong to us. Cost would be minimal, but I just don't think it's a place that it's going to get the attention that these ladies hope for it to get.
I mean, if I were them, I would go
Approach the
ask
city.
the city and put it in Central Park. I agree. I mean,
Or a Verity Park. Or-
Yeah.
but the nice thing about Central Park is they throw all these events there.
Oh,
and
100%.
so
There's
that
so
would
many
just-
places you could put it. I think that would get,
No, they're just, my understanding is to help you design it. It's kind of there are 3 hobbyists, and they would help us design it.
I would say this is probably, since we do not own the property,
Yeah,
not
it's
something
up
for
to
us.
the city.
All right, I will call Betty back, unless if that seems like the consensus.
I think it's awesome. I would love to see it somewhere in the community. I just don't think this is the right spot.
Should I bring it to the full board, or should I just call Betty?
I would just call it, yeah.
All right.
I mean, because it's not really asking for us.
I actually said if it's something the city is not opposed to doing, I don't think the library would fight it, but absolutely we would make our initiative per se.
Yeah, we wouldn't advocate for it, I don't think.
Okay, so the next is city librarian compensation, and this portion of the meeting will be held in closed session pursuant. Motion to go into closed session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120 something 2C1.
Just to review that process, you can decide in open session to go into closed session pursuant to this rule. You can take no final action in closed session. You can have a straw poll. Someone has to take minutes, and I didn't get an envelope or a piece of paper. Someone has to take minutes, and the minutes are sealed. I would volunteer to spend some of my, to be in that closed session if you guys have any questions for me. But that's your decision. I'll get you can you find your envelope also?
That's a bill. I didn't want to write on that. Yeah.
Minutes are summaries. They don't have to be super detailed. And then there has to be a motion to leave. Well, you know how to do this. What am I saying? You know.
I think the question would be whether or not it's our desire to have a conversation about this without Rick present beforehand, or whether or not Rick, you guys are fine with Rick staying.
Yeah, I'm willing to be for
Zach
any.
doesn't require.
Any part of it or no part of it?
To be present in discussion.
I feel like we should have a, I don't know, what do you guys think? I mean, should we,
The only reason I'm volunteering is a couple of you that indicated you had some questions to me, and I'm happy to answer those questions and then leave the room.
okay, well, should we go to closed session?
Yeah,
Okay, who wants to make a motion?
go for it, Cole.
Oh, okay, I make a motion that we move into closed session
Pursuant to,
pursuant to 5 ILCS 120, 2C, paragraph 1.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So we will go into closed session at 5:02 PM.
125, 054.
Yes.
And with that,
Are you good with that? That's what you and Samantha talked about.
Oh, 125 was the ballpark, absolutely.
Yeah.
just round it.
Yeah, we like-
Decimals.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're all happy?
Yep.
I guess the question then for Rick is, what we can do, but I sleuth around to make sure he gets that, but I'm sure he.
That'll just have to be his problem.
Yeah.
Um,
And then he can-
It's $10,000, 5,000 of it was already put in budget, it's $5,000, so.
Yeah,
We'll find it. We'll
We'll
find
work it
that.
out.
He's just already admitted that already.
You're like-
Great.
Cut a conference, I don't,
Go
that's
find
not the right answer, but like,
Go find a grant.
Motion to
Okay,
move
wait,
out of
we have
closed
to vote.
session.
Yeah.
Motion to move out of closed session.
I move that we close the closed session.
Okay, second.
Second, yeah.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're out. Thanks, guys, that was easy.
I forget that, you know, security.
Welcome back, Rick.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Wait, welcome back, how was it? I forget how it's now.
so did you guys know the time that you came
Oh,
out?
I did,
we came
I
out,
just
oh,
did.
you did on the thing, we came out of closed session at
5:21.
5.
And you just have to give us a summary.
We have to do a summary right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we just discussed.
We discussed compensation for
City library.
the city librarian,
Yep.
and we will bring it to the full board next board meeting. Okay, does anybody want to make a motion?
I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, wait, anything else?
We'll vote on our recommendation.
Oh, wait, do we have anything
So
else?
it's not like it's not gonna be public, it's not, it's like a secret until the next.
I don't think we, I mean, whatever we, should we have voted on?
So what we discussed in closed session is in public vote. We didn't make a formal like vote in that. We can't make action in that closed session. So what we just decided upon, we now have to vote upon to go to the full board.
Okay,
Okay, so I motion to vote on the city librarian compensation at the full board meeting. Is that all I have to say?
yeah,
That we discussed.
discussed.
during-
That we discussed in closed session?
I second that.
okay, money, so.
Aye.
Nope, that's still
I
wrong.
don't think that's what Carl's getting at, but I can't remember how we've been missing.
So just like if this were to be voted upon for us buying new furniture, we would make the recommendations to the finance committee and it would be voted upon, finally being approved in the full board. So technically, the amount we just discussed, all that would have.
Oh, you want me to
But
present
no,
that
we're
right
not
now?
supposed to present that right now, we're presenting it to the full board. We're making a motion to present what we talked about in closed session to the full board. We don't have to make,
We have.
Public.
Session, I don't even see that, we're just.
Yep.
proceed forward.
okay, let's just,
I
like,
don't think that's.
Aye.
It's a aye, yes.
Right.
okay,
But I.
aye, okay.
Do I seal this?
Yes. And I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Where does this go now?
I'll take it.
Okay, you made a motion to
members are
adjourn.
Someone made it, right?
Yep,
Where did I?
second,
Oh, I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're out of here.
So,